So this video is going to be a little bit different than what I originally planned, because originally I was going to be going through each little stage and showing the updates as I work through them, explain some of the changes and the difficulties I go through. And then after recording the last video, I kind of just went heads down into developing the system, and now there's quite a few other steps that have been developed. So at first glance, you can see a couple of things that are different. One, you can see that there's now a health value, there is a gold value, there is a habit tracker, there is a shop where you can afford things now. And the back end of things, the supporting pages are the different databases that are used in order to make this. Previously, I had a couple, but now I have quite a lot. So previously, the player was the last one that was made. There is now an additional 5 other things that are integrated with all of these other properties. And I'm just going to give a basic little walkthrough as to where it is currently, what some of the decisions I made were, and going forward, what the plan for it is. So, at a base level, the first thing I wanted to talk about was updating the actual quest tracker. So this was a simple change. Instead of having one large button that depicted the most important task, I've had it so that it's connected to the actual task. And once again, I've left this here so you can actually see what happens. So this complete button will take whatever task is listed in here. So it can be the top priority task, or it can be any task related to whatever you're working on. Once pressed, it will actually add to the overall experience, and once it does, you'll see that all that goes up. I also start earning gold, so you can see how that just jumped up from 39 to 49. And this is a value that, like experience, is going to be based on the amount of tasks that you've done and the prioritization of said tasks, how difficult they are, so on and so forth. Above that, you can see that there's also a health value. Now, this health value is actually going to be depicted via the habits down below. Right now, they're just listed as Habit 1, Habit 2, Habit 3, because I'm starting to integrate a system that also allows customization for the end users when you start. So you develop your character sheet and whatnot. Different aspects, like if I click into this, I've changed the property so that there is a color changer. So let's say I want everything to be green instead of orange. Once I click on that and go back to the base thing, you can see all of the colors that are related to that, both down here and up here. Everything that has a pop-out value, I've now changed to adapt to small things like that. And it just gives that extra little bit of user creativity. So if we're looking back at the core principles when it comes to gamification, one of them is just the ability to customize and make something of your own. And small tweaks like this, I feel, make a big difference, because when I'm making something, I love to integrate the color orange. That's just who I am, it's my branding. And having things like this where I can just go, I'm not really quite sure about the green, so what I'm going to do is just change that to orange. And doing so, all of these values up here are changing. If you want to have an idea of how to do that, you can actually style in the formula tab. So basically taking that style, figuring out whatever the value is. So in this one, it's going to be the level, that's the color I want to change. Making it bold, changing the color. So in this case, it's the property, and that's going to be orange. And then just putting on a grey background. You can also change the background color by just making it a property underscore background. But yeah, doing that just allows you to have a much cleaner interface versus what is a lot of data that, unless you know what you're looking at, can get very confusing. So click out of that. And yeah, this now actually has a habit tracker as well, which is a big part that I wanted to start developing, because one of the things that I know I need to work on more is having more consistency in what I'm doing day to day. And I've always done this through habits, being able to take the steps necessary each day that are moving me towards the overall goals that I want to do, versus having to go, I need to do this, 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 and this. It's just, no, every day I need to do these 3 things. If you've ever read Atomic Habits, there's a line in there that has fundamentally changed how I think about progress, and that is, we do not fall to the levels of our goals, we do not rise to the levels of our goals, but rather we fall to the levels of our systems, and in turn, our habits. Basically saying that everyone has goals. Everyone can go, I want to be a millionaire, but not everyone rises to that level. However, if we have certain habits and systems in place that goes, no, I need to do this every day, then that is the level that we fall to. At the very base, if we keep doing these, we're going to keep making progress. And that's kind of why I'm making this whole system anyway, to make sure that I do have that system in place so that I'm only falling as far as this thing allows me. And hopefully that's going to be helpful to not only me, but a lot of other people. While we're on this main interface, I also have this shop system down here, which basically is just a price value. And I've had 2 options in here for potions that, when bought, actually update the health value. Right now, I can't really show that because there's no damage that I've taken. But what this does is, with these, you can go, okay, I need 10 health back on. And this number will actually update based on the health tracking when it comes to the levels. So at a base level, when you're at level 0 and level 1, you will have 100 HP. No, when you're at level 0, you have 100 HP. And then for every level after that, it will be adapted based on your level times by certain values. So right now, this is actually doing 10 value. At level 0, that adds 5 health instead. So it's just some different mathematical things to make sure that it's taking the same amount of percentage and doing that every time. So the small potion doesn't go irrelevant when you're at higher levels. Likewise, there will be unaffordable items. So if you don't have enough money for something, then it won't pop up here, and vice versa. If it does, it'll be here. It's all the same database, and I'm going to be making an interface for it so that you can also develop your own items and whatnot. Admittedly, they won't have any sort of interaction when it comes to the health or the gold and whatnot, but these are things like, oh, okay, well, if I've done a certain amount of tasks, I will treat myself to dinner this week, and that could be a certain gold percentage that you set up and go, okay, it will cost me 50 gold to treat myself to dinner at this place. Or if you're saying, oh, well, I need to buy this thing, or I want to buy this thing, but I don't feel like I have rewarded I don't think I've done enough to feel like I deserve it. Then having that just be able to go, okay, I have this amount of gold, I do deserve it because I've earned this thing. And just having that small mental trick where it goes, hey, you have made a lot of progress. This is shown in this value. You have been doing the things that you said you wanted to do. Celebrate that aspect while you're doing it, but also realize that's not infinite. You can't just keep treating yourself. Actually have a metric where it does allow you to keep that value, which in this turn is gold, and having that interface of just like, oh, here's the shopkeep and whatnot. A lot of this is going to be stylized over the next couple of videos because I want to make sure that this is very personalized to every person that does it, and at the same time has that thematic aspect. You'll note I haven't involved the enemies, which I've kind of been playing around with in the background. There are like enemies in a database. I'm not going to show that yet because it's not implemented, and I don't want to promise things that aren't there yet, that aren't working. So let's start clicking into a few of these things just to show you the back end side of stuff. If you're not interested in the actual data side of things, just make sure that you have kind of signed up so you can get early access to this. Again, there is going to be a small testing phase that not everyone's going to be able to access, but some people will. So get in. I'll send an email out that will get you to a form that you can fill out eventually. But basically, for now, I'm going to be going through the nitty gritty. If you want to see the back end side of things, some of the code and whatnot, then by all means, stay along for the journey. So when we click into the actual user, this is the main heart of everything that connects to all. This is the main interface that you're going to be dealing with. So here's a good example of some of the things that I was playing around with. So if we open this up, you'll see a bunch of different values and whatnot. For one, I just want to explain stuff like the habit. So by having a user-based ability to change their habit names, I've stuck with 3 for now. For every habit that doesn't get done, you lose 2 HP, or the equivalent of 2% of your health for the things you didn't do yesterday. So right now, I haven't done any of the habit 1, habit 2, habit 3 because they're not defined. But you'll note I still have full health. That's because the actual database itself is logging each day which ones were ticked on that day, and they only start to take account into, oh, okay, that means that's this much damage if the date is not today. So for days previous, which will give you that allowance of like, you're not starting at the day getting negative 6 HP because you haven't done anything. But small things like this, so like, let's say habit 1, I want to read. Oh, let me actually make sure that's typing. There we go, it's updated. And now you can see that habit 1 down here has updated to read. And the way I've done that is simply by having this little aspect so that it actually is taking that habit 1 name and turning it into the formats and whatnot that I want them to be. Because that way I can go, oh, well, is it done? And then say I've read today. I'll do this back on the interface here, which is going to be the main thing I want people to be using. And then you just go, okay, that's done. And once it's done, that gets ticked off. And then tomorrow, I don't lose the 2 HP for that one. And just simple things like this, where right now I'm very much focused on getting the interface to be so user-friendly that it makes more sense to use it than to ignore it. Because the barrier to entry for a lot of these sort of interfaces that I've seen and purchased and bought, it's understanding what the hell to do. So my next stage really is just trying to develop a, effectively, tutorial. When you go through, you load up, you go, here's my name, here's my picture, here's the goal I'm working towards, here are the habits that I want to work on, and then also create an interface so that you can develop your own quests. So that's stuff like that, where a lot of this is really just creating relational data when it comes to the information needed. So you can see the goal tracking is based on all the task completes that I have. And if I jump into one of these, so let's say I go into, let's go levels, because this is one that does get referenced a lot. I believe I briefly showed this in the past video. I'll have to double check that. But you'll see that there's 100 different values in here that are related to the experience needed for each level, and then same value that is taking my current level XP, measuring it against the experience value and seeing if they're the same. If not, then it doesn't get ticked. And that's how I can tell, well, I'm level 3 and the next goal I'm looking for is 8,000 experience. But you can also see that this is connected to every single task, but only once it's complete. So you saw earlier when I pressed that task complete button, what that does is it actually takes, let me just show you. So if I go into my quests, sure, active quests, you can see that I have a couple things here, but if I go over to this one and look at that complete button, what it's doing is that because the button is inlaid into the actual row of the database, it's taking the value of that page for when I'm doing things rather than having to search names and implement things. And all it does is once that's done, it's adding pages to these other things and going, hey, connect them to the user or the player, connect all of those level properties, which by itself is a very annoying thing if you have to go through and click 100 different numbers. And then once done, mark the status of this thing is done, and then connect them to the pages I've just created. By doing so, I can get the values like the priority, the importance, the experience gained, the gold gained. And it's this interconnectivity that has been both something I have adored, but absolutely hated the past couple of days because, as I mentioned in the last video, Notion has safety features where it won't allow it past a certain point for relational data. It won't be able to do this ongoing check because it just overloads servers. So being able to enter rows into a database is the way that I'm effectively saving data. It's that button that goes, okay, cool, today has been logged, this task has been logged, it is listed here as done. It's not checking anything else, it is done. And by having that full stop, it gives me a point to go, okay, that can be related to this, this, and this. But keeping in mind that I can only relate up to 7 times before Notion goes, hey, stop it. So that was the biggest thing recently, and after looking at all of these, I realize now that I'm very much in my own head about how the system works, and that's because, one, I can't develop it if I'm not unsure how it all works, but 2, I want to be doing all this thinking right now so that you don't have to when you get your hand on this. None of these values should be relevant to you. You shouldn't need to worry about any of them. All you should worry about is this as the interface, which item you want to buy, and then what thing you need to do next. That is the base level of all you need to focus on. Now there will be cosmetic things going like, oh, well, here's how you can focus on the overall tasks you want to work on. Here's how to make a quest. But the question I have for you now at this stage is twofold. One is, when looking at a system like this, do you wish to understand how it works? Or do you wish to just be able to use it? That's the first thing. Like, would people find it more valuable to understand every level of code in this? Or would you rather just be able to have access to it and then if you want to look at the code, do it yourself? And the second one is, how do you see yourself using this? Is it a case of this is going to be your day-to-day thing, or is it just going to be, oh, I'm just going to be taking a couple of ideas here and implementing it into my own ideas? It may not be a daily tracker, but it could be an overall project tracker. Is it the aspect of trying to defeat something, or is it just be able to self-develop? I have so many questions in regards to this. So again, if you feel like this is an interface that you, or a system that you would love to play around with, sign up via that link in the description, because again, I want people who are very invested in this to be part of the changes that get made for it. So if that sounds like you, sign up, subscribe for the next videos, and yeah, I guess we'll see what happens between now and the next video, and if it gets completed completely before I decide to, talk about my thoughts again. Either way, thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.